Hi family!
Hi family!
So welcome back to another video. In this one, we are going to be making s'mores bars, but not the regular old way. We are going to be making it with a vegan twist. So if you want to see what that means and what kind of vegan twist we put into this recipe, then I want you to keep on watching and see how delicious this recipe turns out. So the first thing you want to go ahead and do to get ready for this recipe is get your oven ready at 350 degrees and get a rectangular baking pan and grease it up. And then you can set it to the side. Now, the first thing we want to do is grab a bowl and we are going to be mixing 3/4 of a cup of sugar. Go ahead. Thank you so much. And because we're making it with a vegan twist, instead of using butter, we are going to be using coconut oil. And I'm going to be using half a cup, which is equivalent to 1 stick of butter. And we're gonna go ahead and put that in there. Now you wanna make sure that your coconut oil or butter is softened, because that's what the recipe called for. Now that we have these 2 ingredients in the bowl, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna mix it together. Go ahead, help me mix. Now that we went ahead and mixed in the coconut oil and the sugar, we're ready for the next step. So for this step, we're going to need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now the original recipe called for 1 egg, but because I'm giving it a vegan twist, I also substituted the egg for an egg replacement. So this egg replacement came from Bob's Red Mill, and it called for 1 tablespoon of the egg mix with 2 tablespoons of water. So once we mix that in, we let it sit for 1 minute, and now we're gonna go ahead and add that mixture into our sugar and oil mixture. And now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna stir that all together. Once you're done mixing all these ingredients, you can go ahead and set it to the side because we're gonna move on to our dry ingredients. Now, for our dry ingredients, we're gonna use 1 1/3 cups of flour. We're gonna go ahead and pour that into our KitchenAid. Now, if you don't have a KitchenAid, you can definitely do this in a separate bowl and mix it by hand. The next thing you're gonna put in with the flour is going to be 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Now we're gonna go ahead and add 3/4 of a cup of vegan graham crackers that have been crushed by Abigail. After a couple of seconds of mixing, we are gonna go ahead and we're gonna add our egg mixture to this. Now that everything's mixed together, it's time to put half of this dough into our pan. Now you want to make sure that you're pressing the dough down into the pan. Now that we went ahead and placed half of the dough into this pan and pressed it down really nicely, we're going to go ahead and we're going to bake this for 10 to 15 minutes. Now that this bakes for 10 minutes, it's time to add our chocolate chips and our marshmallows because we can't have s'mores without chocolate and marshmallows. But these marshmallows are Dandy's brand vegan marshmallows, and the chocolate chips are by Enjoy Life, and they're also vegan. And they taste delicious, trust me. We were eating them from the bag yesterday. And along with those 2 delicious toppings, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add the rest of our dough to the top of it. And just make sure you are spreading this as evenly as possible. Now that we sprinkled the top of this with those last remaining ingredients, it's time to put this back in the oven for another 10 to 15 minutes or until you see the top of those marshmallows nice and golden. And here it is, a nice and golden brown. And those vegan marshmallows really turned out great. They surprised me actually. They were a little bit chewier than regular marshmallows, but still just as delicious. Now, if you try this recipe at home, please comment down below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!